Hey guys, it's your boy once again, Leroy Hodgson, Pen in Pen Mason, and I'm here with my brother Mason. He's behind the scenes as usual.
Yep.
And today we are here with someone who is really pushing chess in Ghana, as well as the young chess players, trying to get them more interested in chess. And he's also working with the GCA as well. And he is in the person of Maxwell. I'm going to let you say your last name because I can't say it.
Kwasi is fine. It's Maxwell Kwasi Kporxah.
Wow, okay.
Yes.
I'm just going to I saw the
X.
then I was like, how the heck am I supposed to pronounce this?
So it's an X, but it's pronounced like an H.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
Kporxah, yeah.
Then that's from where?
It's an Ewe name. So
Ewe
in
name.
Ewe, X is pronounced her.
Oh,
So it's like
okay.
an H. Basically.
Oh, okay. All right, so we are here today to talk about your experience in chess, and basically what you make of the current state of chess in Ghana.
Sure.
But before we start with any of those, let's just find out from you. How did you get into chess?
I don't know, but literally everybody I know has an interesting chess story. I've never met someone who has a boring chess story. Mine isn't any different. It was late 2018 thereabouts, so quite recent. So I'm a little new to the chess scene. So all along, okay, through high school, I've been hearing about chess, but I never actually got to study chess. Through high school, I was a Scrabble freak. I used to play Scrabble a lot. So
That's
Scrabble
interesting.
is and remains my first love. So I was pretty much very much into Scrabble and all that. But then I think, yeah, late 2018 thereabouts, I was going to the lecture hall, and then I saw that. So I'm a product of University of Health and Allied Sciences Hall. I read medical laboratory science. So yeah, I was going to the lecture hall, and then I found that some people were doing games right at our sports complex, and then there was an indoor game session where a group of people were under a tent, like a canopy, and I just turned and I saw a group of people playing chess, and I just found it fascinating. Like, ooh, okay, chess, that's nice. So I walk up to them briefly and I inquire about like what they are doing. They're like, oh, they're just playing some fun games, but then they're actually thinking about starting a club. So they are thinking of maybe starting on this weekend. Maybe they'll start on Saturday. They'll meet every Saturday. And I was like, oh, cool. I would like to join. The only problem is I don't know how to play. And they were like, oh, I can come. They would teach me how to play, and that would be nice. I was like, fine. So yeah, I went to the block. I think throughout the week, it was on my mind. Okay, chess club this Saturday, chess club this Saturday. So what I do is in school, I used to go to the lecture hall, I study a bit, and then maybe download anime. I used to watch anime a lot. So
Yeah, pushing to the far.
yeah. So I just study a bit, download anime, come home. So that day, I went to YouTube and I downloaded how to play chess. So it was Friday night, just before the chess club meeting. So Friday night, I searched in YouTube or on YouTube how to play chess, and I found this very nice website. I recommend it to everybody. That channel, it's called Chess NYC on YouTube. Like they had beginner videos, like from how to move your pawn, how to move your rook. I downloaded the entire playlist, like of how to play chess. I think it was a few dozen videos. I downloaded them all, and throughout the night, I was just watching the tutorial videos. And would you believe it? The next day, I went for chess club. My very first time playing chess, actually like playing chess. I actually beat someone. I was like, what?
How does that happen?
I know, right? And it felt nice. So since then, like, I think ever since then, I've pretty much done something chess every day since then. So yeah, let's just say I was pretty hooked pretty fast. And yeah, since then, it's been chess club meetings and all that. Yeah.
So how did you get in contact with the GCA, and how did you finally become a professional?
So more on that. So you had an anime chess intro, I guess. That's intro scene. But I just want to ask this question. I think it happens to everybody. Did you ever get to a point in your chess like learning stage where when you are walking and you see a room with squares, you start imagining chess moves? Did you get to that point as well?
We are still there. You never get that stage. Like right now, anytime I see a checkered pattern, be it curtains, be it a mat, be it even a checkerboard, like anytime I see a checkered pattern anywhere, like squares, anything that's like alternating squares, my brain just goes chess. And I don't know, I don't think it's something you can ever get rid of.
For me, it reduced. Like
okay.
when I was now starting, it's like even if you're walking next to me and you get diagonal, I'm like, I can capture
okay.
yeah.
I think there's a little bit of an obsessive phase. Like there's a phase where when you get there, it's either you enter chess like full throttle or you just quit. So I think some of my friends have been there.
Exactly.
And then maybe just very few of us, like Aquab and myself. So Aquab was also a member of the club.
Oh, okay.
We used to have our seniors trashing us. So Aquab and I used to be like the worst players in the club. Actually.
Really?
Yeah.
And now you beat them all.
But by the time we graduated, we were like top 2 in the club.
Exactly. Anime story.
Unfortunately, my brother is still in the beginner phase because he keeps on playing the London system.
Oh, really? But he actually beat me recently.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, with the London system.
Yeah,
it was just luck. It was just luck.
That game, I was very passive. I don't even know why, but it was fun. It was a fun game.
Yeah.
So, how did you get into professional chess, the professional Ghanaian chess scene?
Okay. So, yeah, we were doing our whole thing on campus, right? Low tier. But I think Nehemiah, our current president, reached out to Philip Ameku that, okay, we have a little chess something going on. But back then, the problems we had was sets, or one of the major problems was sets to play with. Because we're using individual sets. Imagine I come this week and you guys beat me black and blue. Next week, the person is busy. They will say they won't come for chess. So we were having troubles like getting sets. So he reached out, and that's one thing I think Philip or the GCA does, which is very encouraging. When they see a group of people interested in the game, they do not hesitate to send you a few sets to get your club started.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was our first point of contact with them. So we kept doing our thing in the shadows. I think 2020, I came for a tournament. My first tournament was at Rev's place, Waka, West African Chess Academy. So that was my very first introduction into like the Ghanaian chess.
That's the Accra
not the Accra Classics. He did one. It was called something Chess Fever or something. I don't know. That was late 2020. He did a tournament. Yeah. So that was my very first tournament meeting. Yameba, all these names I know online, meeting them for the first time. But before then, I had been like pretty loud online, like starting my online things, like sending out tournament links and all that. So I wasn't very popular, but then I was someone a few of them already knew. So it was nice to just meet them for the first time, just relate. And then I think, yes, so there was the Waka tournament in December, late December, and then early January there was Tema Classics. So the 7th, the 6th, I think that would have been the 6th Tema Classics, or the 7th one, I don't really remember.
I think it's been the 6th.
Yeah. So that was my very first one. I got to meet more people, even more people that couldn't come to Waka, spoke with Philip and all that. But I still wasn't really into GCA at first, just a usual, but everybody could tell maybe this guy had passion for the game. So I reached out to Philip. I joined the publicity committee because like that's the area I was most comfortable with. I was already working on the chess scene, trying to promote the game amongst my peers and all that. So I joined the publicity committee. But the committee was a little dormant, not very active till 2021 AYCC, the African Youth Chess Championship.
Okay.
So we're actually supposed to have a Zoom meeting to discuss the publicity plans for the tournament. Right. So the committee, we planned a meeting. Jamina was the lead at the time. And then we entered the Zoom and it was just Jamina and I were waiting. Literally nobody was coming. So we decided it was going to be the two of us. Right? So yeah, we just planned. We planned out, okay, maybe when we'll put out a flyer, when we'll do this, we did detailed plans. And now we needed someone on hand, like at the actual tournament, to maybe liaise with the other countries, maybe try and get the PGN files and all that. But Jamina was like, he was a little busy with work. I was also in Ho, but he asked me if I could come to Accra and help out. I was like, okay, fine. So that was my very first GCA assignment, like handling publicity for that event. And it was a continental event as such. So it was nice. And then, so I had a small team I was working with for PGNs. I call them technical assistants. So
oh, wait, really?
Yeah, we used to take pictures of the pigeons, send it to them, and they converted the game sheets to pigeons and all that. We're also trying to keep the social media. So when I joined GCA, or I handled publicity, I think GCA, our pages were max about 200 and something followers. I don't remember the actual number. But I think right now our Twitter is past 800, almost 900. So it has grown almost 4 times. Our Instagram is also pushing, I think, 600. It's not a lot, but then it tells you that we've come a long way.
Oh yeah, some improvement has been made.
Yes. So yeah, that was pretty much my entry into GCA. Yeah.
Then that means that where I met you was AYCC. Yeah, AYCC. Yeah.
At the hotel.
Yes.
Well, I must say, in the famous words of Hans Niemann, your work speaks for itself.
At the AYCC, I remember getting frustrated.
Yeah, I think because they were
the first day.
Boards,
the first day. No, I actually came for the first day, and after the first day, I couldn't bring myself to come for the next day and the next day and the next day. I was just sitting there. I was like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah. So so before you joined the GCA, you started the whole BCA. So what was the mindset behind BCA, and like what motivated you to start BCA, basically?
Okay. So BCA actually exists on 2 fronts, right?
Okay.
So myself, right now, I'm a chess tutor, or I would say part-time chess tutor, because it's not a full-time thing. But then in my spare time, we've even worked in a school. We taught in a school together. So yeah, there are certain academies around, like Mentors, Waka, and all that, Elite Chess. So as a chess tutor, right, I needed a brand or something to. You can't just go to schools and say, okay, yeah, just you can actually do that, but then it's better if you present as
a club,
yes, or an organization of sort, right? So there's the BCA that's in charge of, or that deals with. It's all the same thing, but then I'm just explaining why I say it exists on 2 fronts.
Yeah.
So with that, I work with people like Maud. I teach chess with Maud, Vitus, like we teach in schools and all that. But then the BCA, as most people know, it is the online chess club. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Where that one is, so the school clubs are mostly for kids. We teach chess to kids. And then the online chess club is actually open to everybody. We have people ranging from as little as maybe 14 years old to even adults and all that. So that one, the idea is to create such of a niche for chess lovers. No discrimination, no gender, age bias. It's just a fun place to play and grow your chess, basically.
Okay, so is Frimpong Smart from you guys?
So I was about to get to that. So BCA is an online chess club, right? But then you realize that most of the members of GCA are also members of other clubs.
Yeah,
we have members of KNUS. So what I did was, so when I joined the group, there was actually a group that was there before I joined, but it was just a chess group, a normal chess group. But then I proposed that we should get more, because you realize what's happening is on the KNUST page, there are maybe 1-2 people who really like chess or are seeking to grow. But then anytime they try to do anything on the page,
they are shut down.
Yeah, nobody else is giving them that image.
Exactly.
So why not get these people from anybody literally who is into chess and get all these very chess-minded people onto one platform where everybody is literally a chess head. So the idea of BCA is just chess heads united. It's just like a lot of chess heads.
Yeah, I get you.
So we play tournaments, we post puzzles. We are just trying to like get better at the game. So it creates a little competition, and that force everybody's just up their game.
Yeah.
And yeah, everybody has a story with BCA. Mostly when people join the page, maybe wherever they are coming from, they think they are the champion. I actually met a guy recently, Philip, who says he thought he was the best chess player in Ghana.
that is just the biggest deception.
Just imagine. Yeah. So someone used to play chess in their own hideout. Maybe used to beat a few of their friends
who don't know how to play.
Yeah. And then he had, at the time, I think he had a chess.com rating of 1100. Like, and
oh my god.
He thought he was the best chess player in Ghana.
Wow.
So he actually reached out to me on social media, and then I told him, oh, I'll add him to one of the chess pages in Ghana. So I added him to BCA. His very first day, he asked if he could play with someone. He got clubbed like, I think 8-0. And he was like, wait. So he was thinking, okay, maybe it's just that person that's very good. And I was explaining to you, bro, that person who just beat you down. It's like, yeah. So BCA is generally like a place for chess heads to just have fun. That's the chess club bit or the online club bit. So it's if this BCA was a church, it's like non-denominational church, sort of. So you realize some of our members are nightmares. Some of them are from the KNUST Chess Club, and all that. So we exist mainly as a chess development platform and not necessarily a club per se with the strict GCA rules of, let's say, we are Nightmare. So myself, I'm a Nightmare. I'm actually an executive of Nightmare.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I had no
So
idea.
I was part of the team that planned the 8th Tema Classic. So I'm a Nightmare. Most of our very prominent members are also members of clubs. So like I'm saying, BCA is actually an academy, right? But then the BCA platform is just a fan club or the WhatsApp group, I should say, is a platform for all of us to just have fun and grow our chess. But the main vision of BCA is actually an academy to teach chess to people. So personally, besides the kids I teach amongst the youth of BCA, so I hold classes twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays on Google Meets. I meet them twice a week at 8 p.m. So that's also one of the things we do. But those ones is not for kids. It's for members of the BCA who are 1500 and under. And want to improve their game. So I teach them chess twice a week on online, I should say. Yeah. So the idea of BCA is pretty simple. It's just a group of chess heads trying to grow their game and trying to push chess forward.
Oh, okay. That's actually quite interesting. Yeah. So basically, BCA is not going to be something like we are going to create our own, let's say, legitimate club in Ghana, or there's plans to do something like that.
Okay. So you're asking me how it started. So it's like I'm giving you the backstory. So the backstory wasn't to create a club. It was just to create an avenue for people to. But now, right now, it creates a problem. So say there's a team chess championship.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a team BCA?
Yeah, because your members, some of your members are all
nightmares. So that's why I'm explaining that BCA is actually a platform for people to just grow their chess, and we don't necessarily identify as a club per se. We are more of an academy.
I get that, but don't you think that there will come a point where you need a physical representation of yourself?
Yes.
Not like a club. You just have to form a place and say this is
BCA,
like BCA headquarters
or BCA Academy or something like that.
Yeah, so definitely. So that's what I'm saying. It exists on two fronts.
Okay.
So again, the plan is to actually eventually build or have a clubhouse, right?
Okay.
Or a chess hall, I should say, as many people call it.
Okay.
So it's actually for academic purposes. So we'll be instructing people on chess, but then again, it will be open to all chess lovers who want to just join and have fun and play their chess. So yes, all I'm trying to say is it didn't start off as that, but we can all pretty much tell it's headed there because everybody is. And then the whole problem of people belonging to other clubs. If our members are, say, KNUST players, after you come out of KNUST, you can no longer play for KNUST.
Yeah, you'll be absorbed into the club.
Exactly.
Excellent, yeah.
So yeah, for now, I don't want to say we are a club, mainly because we exist. I remember recently, Solaris passed the comments, FA Solaris was like, BCA is like a phantom. It's like, it's just something that exists online. And he's not wrong.
It's true.
But when you do a poll right now of chess players in Ghana, I can vouch. I don't know about other people, but personally, I can say for a fact that 30% or more of them do not own actual chess sets.
True.
You sure?
Yes.
Up until when
like
the gift of chess,
chess sets. Like 30% of chess players right now. Imagine the COVID period when a lot of people switched to chess. A lot of them play online every single day, but did not even have a chess. All I'm trying to say is right now, chess is moving towards the whole online platform.
Yeah, true.
So you don't need an actual chess set. So when Mr. Solaris was like, oh, we are a phantom or we exist only online, it's true. But then it doesn't mean we are not serving our purpose or we are not doing what we are supposed to be doing. Us existing online is just more convenient. Like I'm saying, I hold chess classes twice a week on Google Meet at 8 p.m. How many people can meet me at an actual venue at 8 p.m. to have a chess?
Yeah, physically, no.
Exactly. So BCA is starting online and all that, but there are plans to actually get physical space, and because in as much as online chess is nice and all that, pushing the pieces has a classic feel to it. And
true, true.
There's nothing better than that.
Okay, so I want to ask about BCA and basically the way you've pushed Ghana chess forward. In your opinion, do you feel maybe other clubs should be following your sort of method in terms of how I want to
adopting an online strategy?
Adopting an online strategy to basically push chess in their communities, basically.
Yes. So I think with chess, one of the most important things is passion, right? When we're coming up with BCA, sorry, the bottom liner was whoever is coming on the page had to be someone who genuinely liked chess. You didn't have to be a grandmaster or a very good player, but we had to see that you were interested in chess. So the chess group is not actually open. The BCA group is actually like, I don't say by invitation only, but everybody on the page is someone on the page already knew and could tell, okay, this person likes chess. So I think from the very start, any group or any club looking to start a chess club or grow their chess club has to focus on people who genuinely like the game. Because as of now in Ghana, the game doesn't really give people much in terms of maybe finances, or there isn't much remittance or anything like that. So passion is very important.
True.
Right? So I just wanted to state that. And yes, there's an issue of inconvenience. So because people are not professional chess players, it will be difficult to get them to maybe appear at a venue every single week or twice a week. It puts them at a slight inconvenience. But if it's online, let's say your tournaments are online. I'm not saying every tournament should be online, but like you hold regular online tournaments. Maybe if you have a coach, you have online sessions with your coach. It's just more convenient, right, for people who are genuinely interested in chess, and it makes things easier, the growth process easier. So yes, I think most clubs should actually consider getting a structure that is so let's say your club is targeting maybe 50-year-old. So I'm just trying to say you should know your target population as well. Say you want to open a premium chess club for men 50 and over. Those people care nothing about online chess. They want to play chess, sip beer, and just have fun. So those people will prefer a more like hands-on approach. Say you wanted to teach kids chess. Kids would prefer to touch the pieces and have a feel of it. So I think, yeah, it depends on the target or the group of people involved, and then that will tell you the best approach. So with BCA, you realize most of our members are young adults who are almost always online on their phones. So it's very, very much suits their lifestyle, and it's very convenient for them. Yeah.
But here's something that I have always been wondering when it comes to online chess. It seems like people prefer maybe rapid time control, blitz time control, and bullet time control for online chess. So when it comes now to over the board chess, which normally is standard time control, it sort of messes with them. Do you think that online chess could somehow hinder the progress of
and let me just also
over the board chess player?
Yeah, but not just that, also the view of the board. It's easier to get that bird's eye view online than it is to get over the board. Exactly. So just to add up to his question, do you think it does affect?
Yes, it does. So personally, for my students, right, or people I mentor, so I told you I mentor some people Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Exactly.
They are bad from playing blitz. Like they can play online, but they do not play blitz. Bullet is like a no-go area. If you can't play blitz, bullet you wouldn't even so I limit them to rapid games, at least 10+0. I even encourage them to play 10+5 and above. Even personally, right now, the time control I'm playing is maybe 15+10.
Yeah.
So in as much as you play online, the problem is when you are seated behind an actual board, you can actually sit there for 30 minutes and not feel time pass by. But staring at a screen for just 5 minutes feels very long. Imagine your opponent is calculating 3 minutes deep. Over the board, 3 minutes won't seem like much, but online, bro, I don't know if you've ever played a classical game online.
Oh yeah, online. Yes, 30+30.
Yeah, just imagine the person is thinking for 10 minutes and you are just frustrated. So that's one of the problems with online chess, obviously.
So basically, it's not fun to play on a standard control online.
But I think you need to come to a compromise. You need to, and then again, it depends on you and your visions for your chess career or whatever it is you're doing. right? I always ask my students, the very first question you need to ask yourself always is, why do I play chess? If you are someone who plays chess just for the thrill, for the adrenaline rush, bro, don't even think about rapid. Just play your blitz and your bullets and just get your adrenaline rush and go home. Fine. But if you're someone who is like genuinely interested in growing your chess, every chess coach or instructor will tell you that blitz games won't help you much, right? And one funny thing people don't know is, say you get to 2200 rapid rating on, let's say, Lead Chess or any other chess platform, you could just as easily bring your blitz rating closer to it.
True.
Because once you get better at chess, so with my students, right, when I say they are banned from playing blitz, I mean they can't just go online and play blitz, but I allow them to play maybe the blitz tournaments we organize, like the Swiss tournament.
In a more controlled environment.
Exactly. And you realize that they are playing rapid, right? And their ratings are maybe, right now, when I started with them, they were all under 1500, but right now some of them are 1600, some of them are 1500, 1400, pushing
far better than Kwasi.
What?
Kwasi is like 2000. So
he underestimates me so much.
But I'm talking about your FIDE rating.
So, but one thing they find very interesting is when they play the blitz tournaments, they get very good positions. Maybe the person is up on time, but they are actually winning. They are winning over the board. Some of them text me that, wait, it's true that playing rapid helps them concentrate.
Very much.
It very much does that. So yes, if you're someone who is like very serious, and I think the national champion himself told me this. He told me if I want to improve my chess, I contacted him, I think 2 years ago, right, that I wanted to improve my chess. That's one of the things I'm not shy to do. I text people I can see. It's obvious that this person is growing their chess. This person is doing something right. It only makes sense that you approach the person to ask, like, what you should be doing to get in the right direction. And one of the things all of them mentioned, I've also worked with CM Onokute from Nigeria.
Yeah.
And one of the things he mentioned is stay off blitz and bullets. Just play at least rapid time control, and you would have a very fun time. But you can play blitz games once in a while with your friends. I'm not saying it's very bad, but yeah, generally it's known everywhere that playing too much blitz is bad for your chess, sort of.
True.
So one thing I also did with BCA is there are tournaments, right? And on Fridays we hold rapid tournaments, 2 hours. That was one thing I incorporated so that people like do not just play blitz always, and then blitz also I try and add some incremental like 3+2, especially for the Swiss tournament, to make it more fun and instructive.
Yeah, but I still didn't get a call from you. So I'll take that as I'm not scared. You were saying that you asked those who you felt like they were doing things. And I didn't get a call from you, so I will hold that to myself.
Like you play the landing, so I'm definitely bro.
So true.
The landing player positive teach me about chess.
I see.
You both know the game you beat me at was a fluke, right?
Total fluke, I'm sure.
Don't worry.
I wasn't there, but I'm sure.
Like, I caught everybody but landing player. Even if you had 3,000 rated and you are a landing player,
trust
bro, I'm not calling you.
I just have to find one OTV tournament and lash you with the landing system. That's all.
Overhead, you beat Aqua recently.
Yeah.
What if Magnus decides to play the landing?
Oh, he does. He actually does.
He does. But whenever he does it, it ends up in a draw. Mostly.
That shows you how bad it is.
That's high level play.
Exactly. So why would you play something that's not accepted at high level?
It's always drawish. It's only the Catalan. It's only the Catalan.
Only the Catalan.
Yes.
Like the landing is worldly acclaimed to be a very. So the thing about landing is people really ask you, why do you hate on the landing? No. So landing is lazy.
Exactly. I don't deny that. It's a lazy man's open. Like
they do the same thing
over and over
every time.
Just a few tweaks, but.
So it's a little convenient when you start out chess.
Exactly.
Right, to play the landing system.
Exactly.
Because you maybe do the same thing. That's why it's called a system.
Yeah, it's a system opening.
Because you just get a structure. Okay, my pawns are supposed to be a triangle, a pyramid. Sorry.
Yeah, pyramid. Yeah.
My bishop is supposed to be outside the pyramid. The other one is supposed to be inside the. So you just get a fair idea what you're supposed to be doing. But always I tell my students whenever I teach chess, I tell them to stay. I even tell them to stay clear of d4. Like
you start with e4. D4 is
structures are like.
Yeah,
most importantly, maybe the Rui Lopez. That's what.
I always start with Italian.
They're very good openings.
Yeah, God. The chess coaches. Me, I don't know anything.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm undefeated, so you know.
Yeah.
I'm undefeated.
Yes,
I'm undefeated.
So his point is that Magnus Carlsen hasn't beaten him.
Yeah, 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Oh, well, I can beat him at least.
When?
No, I doubt that.
Even
my
if I
brother
cross
is
my
playing
eyes.
really well, and Kaiser seems to be on his side. I don't believe I blinded a queen against you.
Yeah, everybody blinded a queen against you.
3 or 4 people blinded queen. I was actually watching the stream while I was playing.
Oh, really?
So I had a tab open and I was streaming.
I was just enjoying myself.
And then I was watching. I think your third game against was it Rolly Malibu?
No, a gas.
No.
After you. Oh.
Yeah, you played yeah, it was Rolly. You played Rolly
he
after.
changed his username, eh?
Yeah, I think he's Marconi guy or something.
Marconi boy, yeah.
It was him.
Another blinded. Everybody blinded.
I don't know for a fact, but I think it was him.
Everybody was just blinded.
They were finding pity on you. They were finding pity on you.
Really?
Dude had invited me for an interview. So I was like, okay,
Charlie, yeah, let's
a soft one.
Don't worry. I'm going to change my username and then do something about it. Okay,
it was cool.
Something that I really love about BCA is the fact that it hosts a regular tournament. It's something that I know when it comes to over the board chess, it's very difficult to do because of money. The GCA does a lot when it comes to that. They do a lot of regular tournaments in a year, and you have to praise them for that. Even though I still believe it's a little bit small, but still they do a whole lot when it comes, and I know they do a lot behind the scenes as well. But I really like the fact that BCA hosts a lot of regular tournaments. I know there's not really prize money attached to those tournaments, but still.
But recently, I'm trying to just it's a non-profit. Like we don't make any money or anything. But I realized recently there is more competition, right? So recently, some of our tournaments have airtime prizes, just something small to just add a little oomph to the motivation. And I think it's working just fine because the tournaments with, even though very little prizes like airtime and all that, people still join in their numbers.
Yeah, it shows that BCA really is a group of passionate chess players.
Chess heads, and it's been going well so far. And as the matters of GCA and all that, it's a little complicated.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I think working with GCA, so I work with GCA, I work with Nightmares, so it has given me insight into how these structures are, and maybe things that could be done maybe differently in both structures. But it's very insightful.
Yeah. So how do I put it? There was one question we forgot to ask Philip, and since you bring up that point, sponsorships. How do they go about that? Or how could we go about that? Because I feel like everything has to be internally generated. So how do you think we can go about sponsorships, or how do they go about sponsorships?
Okay. One question people ask me is, wait, why is Nightmare able to pull this off?
True.
And then GCA, the entire GCA isn't able to. That's like one of the biggest questions of the year. Like everybody's like, what? I don't know. You weren't at.
I wasn't there. No.
Alisa,
you saw pictures, right?
Oh,
I know. I don't know if you've spoken to Ambrose about that, but then if you know the backstory of how the Alisa event, I don't know if you spoke to him about it.
I spoke to him about it.
Okay. So you gained some insight. So it's when it comes to stuff like that, right? We can't just handpick people to go look for sponsorship. Sponsorship isn't. It sounds easy, but then we need top guns or people with certain pedigree to go out and look for sponsorship.
Okay.
So one thing Nightmare does really well is they know people. So it's based on connections or relationships with people and these organizations. Because nobody's going to give you money
on a need to hold the
exactly. So Nightmare is able to do that because of maybe a strategic positioning in that community, right? There's someone in charge of publicity who is very connected with maybe the Ghanaian community or the business community. GCA, on the other hand, is supposed to be a larger organization, right? But I think with sponsorship, one of the things sponsors look out for is numbers. If GCA is going to look for sponsorship, right, and then they are sure that the tournament would have 200 FIDE-rated players.
Oh, I get you.
I feel it will be easier for GCA as an organization, for a national organization to go for sponsorship. Because if you're going for sponsorship on that national level, and then in the end it will be just 20 people playing and all that, it's not really encouraging for sponsors. But I think sponsorship is one of the very important things we need to work on. But then it will take, and then it depends on who is looking for the sponsorship. So I think maybe our sponsorship committee will need to maybe re-strategize as to how they go about the whole sponsorship thing.
Yeah.
But the numbers plays a very important role.
Yeah, but I'm seeing an increase. So I'm guessing that maybe very soon we'll have like much bigger tournaments coming up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The numbers seem to be increasing.
But like for the whole year, the only tournament that will be bigger than the
President's Cup.
8th Classics is the 9th Tema Classic. Like
the 9th Tema Classic.
Tema is unbeatable.
The President's Cup is Ghana's biggest
I think
chess competition.
It's supposed to be, but
it's supposed to be.
I think it's so
let's put chess aside. If you had lunch at Alisa, like so at Tema Classics, why it wasn't just about the chess. We served an experience.
Yeah,
it was. How many playing halls in Ghana have chandeliers? Like just
really,
the lighting at Alisa was
he's going all the way there.
It was phenomenal. So like Tema Classics was more of an experience. The game sheets were customized. So everything down from the very little things to the very high things was like top tier pretty much. The only thing maybe we didn't do was stream the games.
That was literally my next question.
No, but that is an issue mainly of logistics. Because DGT boards that could not work. And then they actually wanted me to set up the ID chess stands and all that. But I was a little busy with work, and that one needs more hands-on person to actually check them out. That's why I wasn't able to set up. But then
okay, so there's something that Philip told us when we brought him here the last time. I don't know if you've watched it.
I have.
Listen,
I'm 50 minutes in.
But he spoke about basically having a system where the clubs basically sort of like a parliamentary system for clubs. What's your take on such a system for the GCA?
So that's actually the federation system, right? I think that's what Nigeria uses. But here's the thing. When it comes to structures of organizations, right? So you see, in Nigeria, they have states, right? So there's Oyo State, there's Plateau, there's Bayelsa, there's Delta, and these states have a governor. So already in their government structure, it's like regions in Ghana. They already have that structure in place from every. So it's enshrined in their education system. It's enshrined in their political system. Every organization, national organization, is segregated into the federal system. So it just makes sense that their chess federation is also broken down into states, right? And these states run their own affairs, like their little states. And then in every state, maybe there are clubs and all that. Fine. I just wanted to paint that picture. What he's suggesting on paper sounds similar. But the problem will be that my question is, does it really solve our chess problems?
Well, if the clubs are basically the clubs who are basically private entities and they have the money to push the GCA, isn't it worth it?
So I think reinforcing the club system works, right? Like it's perfect. But making the club system a GCA system, I don't know, or switching the GCA system into a federation system, that's what essentially it is. I feel is going to be a little hard to pull off. Because what's going to happen is still Accra or Greater Accra has a lot of, so there's going to be maybe Dreamfall to be revived, there's going to be early chess, there's going to be nightmares, there's going to be, but it will still be centered around these areas, right? In Kumasi, maybe KNUST Chess Club will break off and start a club. But you see, it's a tertiary club. So what it means is Kumasi would have to set up a Kumasi Chess Club that's different from KNUST. I don't know if you get me.
I think I do.
I don't think I get you. If if so, basically, you think that it get to the point where each region will have its own
representative
chess club.
If we are doing that, it shouldn't be the club is the unit of the federation.
Oh,
it should
okay,
be
now
a region-based thing.
Perfect sense. Okay, now I get you clearly.
Yeah,
but I don't think that's what he's
Philip
no, he is actually talking about. So your club becomes
let's say a region or a state. Yeah.
Okay.
But what happens if chess blows up in Ghana? So every 5 people can just come up and form a club. So what it means is a time will come when we have 1,000 clubs in Ghana.
Yeah.
That would flood the system.
Yeah, that would be very difficult.
So right now it will be easy to manage because in our mind we have just 10
few clubs in Ghana. Yeah.
But when that blows up, and there was the issue of qualification to play in nationals, bro, what is going to cause is every club will have just 5 people who automatically qualify for the national.
Yeah.
So I think what he was saying, it was just insights. I think we would have a discussion on that.
I think there's Congress soon, right? So that
yes. So we'll discuss that in depth.
So please.
So I'm just trying to point out some of the challenges that will come with that modality.
I'm just saying this for the people who will be watching and everything. Don't take this and then start running with it.
Exactly.
These are issues
so
being
just propose out.
These are issues being discussed right now. So when they are done, we will let you know the results. Okay? So it's not like he's speaking. It's not like he's backstabbing.
When you say backstabbing,
so this hasn't been
discussed.
Yeah,
exactly. So I'm just trying to make
it was just the president expressing it, and I'm also expressing my
views. So I'm just trying to make, because you know the internet is crazy.
I
don't take anything anyhow. I want to mention this.
Yeah. So I'm also just when I watched the interview, I actually put much thought into it to think, try and think around it.
Yeah.
So at face value, it sounded very nice, but when I was thinking about it.
Yeah, what if chess? Yeah, I realized
a lot of very good players, right? If it's limited to top 5, people will start running from BCA.
Yeah,
we'll have CCA, we'll have BCA, ECA, FCA, GCA.
Or you can do is it Dreamfort? What they usually at the team championships, Dreamfort would have Dreamfort 1, ABC. Yeah.
So it's also going to pose some problem. But I think the club idea is just perfect.
Yeah.
Right. Instituting clubs and putting them in charge of their members, that's great. But my problem is with making the club the GCA structure. I feel it's going to be a little more complicated than to just say we are changing the system. A lot of thought and research is going to be or needs to go into making that bold decision. Yes, but as to empowering the clubs to get active. So one way to do that would be maybe encouraging team events and all that. Yeah, that's very much cool. But I don't know. So we'll discuss that in depth, and I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure
there will definitely be an in-depth discussion about that. I'm actually looking forward to that. In fact, I think I'll go for the Congress. Follow me.
It's nice.
No, I might not be able to go for Congress. Is this Saturday, right? Or it's Friday?
I can't remember.
I have to check. Congress is in February, I think. Yeah.
You have to check. I can't remember the date as well, but also Kwasi, you follow me to Congress. Let's go and listen and see.
18th February.
So, speaking more about the youth, let's talk about the youth now. We seem to be in. Can I classify this generation of youth chess players as a golden generation for Ghana?
I wouldn't say golden age.
Can we because you realize that there was a time where when chess players, we say Lionel is the golden boy of Ghana chess.
That's smart right now.
Ajavon is the golden boy
of the year.
Yeah, Ajavon was the golden boy of Ghana chess for a while. But now we can point to Mauli, Richardson, we can point to Mauto, we can point to Smart, we can point to a lot of
when you say golden age, you're talking like India. Because everybody's coming from India.
I know. But what I'm trying to say is that over the years, let's look at over the years for Ghana, the kind of chess players we've developed. Can't we describe this generation as currently the best we've had in a very long time?
It's the best we've had in a very long time, but it's not going to be like Lionel level. The difference between...
Oh, really? You don't think they are Lionel level?
Listen to, let me land, okay? The difference between the previous generation and this generation is the availability of coaches. From Lionel's age all the way up, there was no coach system. Everybody was self-taught. So that person that we can say is a golden boy. But this is basically the Poga sister experiment. Because of how they've grown up, that's why they are shining. So that's why I don't want to say golden era. Okay, so who you point to is the number one shining star
in Ghana?
There's no one person.
I can't point
if I say
to a single person.
Yes, but if you look at below Frimpong Smart's age, you can't mention one person's name.
So
I get it.
On the subject matter, right? The recipe for chess mastery is actually two things, right? Or in my opinion, my not so good opinion. So I think to produce chess masters, or let's say if the vision is to create 100 people, 2,000 rated and above, the recipe for that is just two things: numbers and time. Chess is a numbers game, right? Out of 1,000 people, like 2 or less, I can't say half people. So just 2 or 1 of them is likely to cross 2,000. Like out of like 1,000 people or 100 people. Yeah. Sorry, that's
I think okay.
But haven't they lowered the standard for that?
No, he's not talking about standard. He's talking about.
No, I'm talking about like
a rating point.
Not like in terms of rating when you draw a curve, right? From I don't think there's a chess rating called 0. Like, from 0 when you know nothing about chess, right? So when you draw a curve, you realize in the center, that's where a lot of beginners and intermediate people will be. But I'm talking about the higher percentile. That's small. Out of like 100 people that start chess, or even 1,000 people,
it's my first rate
very few of them cross the 2,000 barrier. True. So numbers. That's what I'm saying. Chess is a numbers game. So let's go to Nigeria, where every state already Nigeria's population is just third to China, India.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah. So they have the numbers in terms of like human resource. Now let's bring that to chess. They already have a lot of chess structures in place. So in Nigeria, there are, let's say, 100,000 chess patzers in Nigeria. If just 1% of 100,000 people become masters, right, or 1 in 1,000, that's still 100 to 2,000 plus.
Yeah.
But imagine in Ghana where we have, let's say, 2,000 chess players. That means only 2 people across 2,000. That's why I say numbers. So the very first thing you need is the numbers, right? The second thing is time. Anybody at all can become a chess master.
True.
But the time you need to become a chess master, at least on an average, will be, let's say, 8 to 10 years of constant chess.
6 hour,
5 hour type. So there's this young Turkish IM. He says he doesn't do chess much because of school, right? So he does chess just 3 hours a day with his coach. He doesn't do chess much because of school.
Yeah.
So he only does 3 hours a day with his coach. Contrast, professional chess players in Ghana, or not so professional.
You can't call them professional chess players.
But high-level chess players in Ghana can go a few days or a week
and not even play a single chess game.
They normally, some of them
when
probably,
they are free, they do 2 hours on weekends or 4 hours on weekends.
But when there's a competition coming up.
But there's a boy who says he doesn't do much chess, but he does 3 hours a day. So here's the difference. So when I say time, it's time on 2 levels. So it means a 40-year-old can become a chess master at 50. But at age 40, you have kids, you have responsibilities. So the best time to actually start chess is when you do not have responsibilities.
Exactly.
Say age 5, 6, 7. You start off as a normal person. You just go to school, come back, watch cartoons, do your homework, and do puzzles. Right? So chess is better suited to kids. Like chess is for everybody, but I mean, if you want to produce professional chess players, the best time to start is the kids, with children. And we are seeing that in the likes of the Richardsons, the Tandos, the Champons, the Tagbotos,
the kids,
your kids, exactly, right? These are kids that are into chess and they have the brightest chess future. I don't say forget Frimpong Smart, forget myself, forget your brother.
Forget my brother, forget my brother. Forget me.
So we have, but your brother, I'm sure he has plans to get married in the next few years.
Yes.
And there seems to be a curse on chess players in Ghana that
when they marry,
really get married, your chess player dies. It happens to come from Frimpong Sat, it happens to CM Sosu, Lionel. It's not like their careers there. I don't want to sound like. But it means responsibilities. And
your responsibilities have come up.
Imagine me, I was in a car one time with CM Susu, who has pretty much gone down in the chess scene. He doesn't play, or he didn't play as actively and all that. But his son was telling him he likes chess a lot.
Oh wow. And
I was saying, this is your dad when he has cooled down. Like he no longer spends as much time with chess as he used to. So you can tell that
he's still
but then chess is time consuming. You need a lot of time to do chess if you want to do chess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember one of my chess mentors was telling me to actually quit everything and go all in chess. And it's not a very easy thing to do,
At all.
especially in this side of the world. Yeah. So chess, the recipe is simple actually, but then it's easier said than done.
But again, I still say we have a very
we are in a good time. True.
When it comes to S now, so like I'm saying, when it comes to BCA, these are high school tertiary students. I don't think they don't have responsibility. They're supposed to be studying for their exams and all that. But yeah, as compared to young adults who are maybe in the job market and all that, these are people with relatively low responsibility. So yeah, it's evident that these people get more time for chess. And those are the results we are seeing in their ratings and in their development. So yeah, it all still boils down to how much time do you have for chess. And chess is more of a consistency thing, right? I think people ask me a lot that, wait, am I sure I started chess just a few years ago? Because there are people who have been doing this longer, but maybe haven't gotten where I have.
Yeah,
not that I've gotten anywhere anyways.
Of course, yeah.
But getting, let's say, to a 2000 rapid rating on lichess.
Yeah,
right?
lichess, that's
to some people, it's a strange accomplishment. But to me, I know the number of hours I've put in. Like, I was a chess head. Like, bro, I was doing chess every day, back to back. And that's all you need to actually improve in chess. You need time and effort. Yeah,
it's true.
You say you were. You just say you were a chess head. Aren't you still a chess head?
You see, the thing is,
I don't consider myself a chess head as I used to. Right now, I go to work. I work like 5 times a week. My work schedule is like crazy, so I don't really get as much time for chess.
Yeah, because even me, I don't know if you remember, I could actually sit down for 3 whole days, not hours, days. I'm just playing chess throughout. These days, it's when I'm in a trot. So
right now, what has happened is I've cut on my chess time, but I'm being more productive with my chess time. Like when I was saying I was a chess head, it's not like I was doing anything reasonable, bro. I can play 8 hours of lead chess 3+0 and blunder back to back for 8 hours straight. Exactly, and be depressed and all. But right now, although I'm spending less time on chess,
more productive,
I'm trying to be more productive. And I think it comes with experience. That's where guidance comes in.
True.
When I started off chess, it was just me and my bro, Jatendra Advani. I don't know if you know that guy on chess, some Indian guy on YouTube, I should say.
Okay.
So it was just me and YouTubers learning gambits and
so
you were spending time doing things that
were not necessary.
Exactly. But now with experience, I know this is the way to go when you want to improve your chess. So with the group I'm working with now, I'm trying to get them. They still itch to play blitz, but it's difficult to explain to someone else. I've been there. I've done what you've done, and I'm telling you, bro, that's not the way. If you want a shortcut, this is actually the boring way, but it's the sure way to get where you want to go, and it's like the fastest route. Else you spend a lot of time doing something else.
I blame chess bras. They started the whole blitz niche. They started the whole blitz. They always posted these challenges of 1 minute blitz. Try and win without a bishop. Try and win without this. And when you're watching their stream, someone's like, "Is blitz bad for you?" Someone's like, "Yeah." I know people say that steady, you have to play slow time controls, but go any way you want. And I'm like, no.
So it all boils down to you. If you have instruction or guidance, it's easier because you have a coach who is telling you do this, do not do this. And that's like the best way to actually improve your chess. Having instruction is like very, very helpful.
Okay, so who do you believe right now in Ghana has the potential to get a title? When I say title, I mean like an IM title. IM or GM title in Ghana right now. Among the young ones, you see anyone getting to that level?
Which age group?
Any age group you want.
Okay. So, like a proper 2300 IM?
Yes.
So, when I imagine Edupuku, right? Edupuku can get an IM title, but it will take him a longer time. Why? Dude is a medical doctor. He works on chess on his free time. But imagine Edupuku. No. I don't want to say unemployed, but imagine Edupuku just doing chess. In the next 3 years, 5 years,
he could get it.
He could get to IM strength or IM level, right? Same thing for Nyameba, same thing for Smart and all that. So essentially, we are all IM. Your brother could get IM squared in. Yeah,
IM.
Yes. So see, people think chess is written on you that you can gain IM, but no, it's actually the time you put in. That's like the recipe for chess. If you want to improve, just put in the time. Say I quit my job, your brother quits his job, and we have 50,000 cities on hand to hire a coach for the next 3 years. He and I will be the next 2 IMs of. I don't know. It sounds strange, but that's just the reality of things.
If you are thinking about like talent,
it as talent,
then you are going to Magnus Carlsen level. Like they understand chess in a way that is not normal.
No, but even Magnus, right? Do you know how early Magnus started?
Yeah, Magnus started to be
very, very, very early.
So the thing is, that's why there's a skill even amongst GMs. So there's the Egyptian GM and then there's Magnus. Out of 1,000 games they will play, Magnus will win 1,001. No. So this is where talent comes in, I should say. So see, here's the thing. Magnus at 83 knew every country in the world, its capital and its population. This person has impeccable memory, right? Or he has natural endowment that is unparalleled. So him choosing chess as something he's doing, that will translate into him being able to memorize positions from as far back as the 1800s, which maybe normal humans can't. So when you're asking about talent, but imagine Magnus as an astrophysicist, right? You can't tell me he would apply the same knowledge in astrophysics, but he would be a totally bad chess player. So in as much as he had the natural talent, he still had to put in time in chess.
Yeah, of course.
Of course, that is very true.
So if the question you're asking me who can make IM, essentially everybody. But if you're asking maybe right now with everybody still working and doing what they are doing, who is likely to like get a title? Still, it's a matter of passion. Right? So anybody who is willing to maybe put their life on hold to chase the title is like really going to do it.
So let me say this. What about someone like Dave Achampo, whose father keeps pushing him and pushing him?
Remember, I once told you that Dave has a time limit. I don't even remember.
A time limit.
I told you that
he has a time limit.
When Dave reaches, I think from 16 going, when responsibility starts coming in, that's when we'll know.
But what if they push him so much that by age 16 he does have an IM?
Then glory be to
no. So the thing is, okay. So the question you're asking me, no, the thing is, I had already mentioned that kids had the best chances.
Yeah, true.
So the thing is, it's a time game. So like I'm saying, your brother and I can still get there. Your brother can still get IM. But by the time he gets there, he'll be 30 something, he'll be 40.
Yeah.
He'll probably be 50.
So let's say you need 10 years to become an IM. Or let's say 15 years to become an IM when working at a half-time pace. Right? A kid at age 10 would reach that by age 25 and still be relatively young and be a young 25-year-old IM. Your brother at say 25 would become a 40-year-old IM. So essentially it's still that. And then one thing advantage kids have is like they are more empty. Your brother's brain is already filled with a whole lot of things. But the kid's brain is fresh.
His boy's head is full of theory.
Oh no, all I'm trying to say is it's easier to fill an empty bucket than it is to fill a bucket half filled with sand, with water, I should say. So with the kids, they start off with just chess. And that's me, I spent like 4 or 5 years doing Scrabble. Sometimes I think to myself, bro, if I had spent those years doing chess, by now definitely I would have been, you can't say for a fact, but when I think about it logically, I would have been a much better chess player than I am now if I didn't spend all those years doing something. So it's the same for chess. The earlier you start, the better
more,
your chances of
you can do.
like getting titles at a much younger age.
So we have come to the end of the interview, or should I say the podcast. Time now for the trivia question.
Trivia or question?
Questions. the three trivia questions. I have to increase the number, don't you think?
Depends.
Okay.
You just talk because you don't know that the editing is coming from me. You just talk. Let's interview this person. Let's interview
this person. That's me.
Be disturbing me.
For anybody who wants to know, Kwasi is the one who does the editing. I just bring the guest.
All the thumbnails and everything. Then you just say, let's do that. You can, this thumbnail is not nice. Add this one. Yeah.
Creating content is like very exhausting.
It's serious.
Anyways, time now for the trivia question.
Okay.
All right. So, first question for Maxwell. Who is the current president of the Africa Chess Confederation?
Okay. That's it.
That's it. Who is the current president?
Lady Tepiso.
Who?
Tepiso.
Tepiso?
Yeah.
No. African Chess Confederation.
Yes, she's the president.
No.
The ACC.
Check.
No.
Check.
No.
The ACC president is a lady.
No,
Tepiso.
it's Louis Nkube.
No,
It
Nkube
is.
has been voted out. Not voted out. His tenure ended. They voted, and then there's now Lady Tepiso from Botswana.
Sure?
Yeah.
I'm coming to check. Casey, please check for me.
Oh, for Africa
To
Chess.
be sure.
Yeah,
Africa Chess
it's
Confederation.
Tepiso. I've forgotten
Just
her
to
other
be
name.
sure, because sometimes too I can make a mistake.
she's a
so
female. Like
I'm
When was she voted out? When was he?
Louis Nkube. Is he still the president of the Africa Chess
last year they had an election last year, and now it's Lady Tepiso.
I'm coming. It's still saying that, but let me just go to.
Yeah, it's not
Hey,
Louis.
Casey, yeah,
Louis Nkube
okay.
was
I've also seen
president
Louis
for like the
Nkube.
longest time.
Check
I've actually met Levis before.
check the website.
I think Philip and I met Louis once, but he's no longer the president.
All right.
He
So
wanted a FIDE position.
oh okay.
Yeah.
So he was.
It's who?
Yeah, Tefiso Lopan.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you got it
He's
correct.
Lady
So
Tepiso.
it was for me. I made a mistake.
Yeah, it was in
I am
August.
pro- I
It was
am
in
prone
August
to
of
mistakes.
Last year, yeah.
August of
Lady
last year.
Tepiso.
All right. So next question.
Okay.
I come to ask
So it's
you.
correct, right?
Yeah,
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So next
I
question.
wonder how you guys will edit this.
Oh
Leave
no.
everything in.
I will leave everything. I'm allowed to make mistakes.
Okay.
So next
Okay.
question.
Sure.
Who are the three? Since you're an executive of Nightmares,
Mhm.
who are the three Ghanaians to have won the Tema Classics? Sorry, the Tema Classics.
Oh, okay.
The three Ghanaians to have won the Tema
The
Classics.
easiest one is the most recent.
Of course.
Dr. Kwabena Edupoku.
Correct, one.
CM Lionel.
Correct.
Edu.
Two.
So
Last
I
one.
think to win Tema Classic, you have to be an Edu.
Changing my name.
Yeah. So CM Lionel, Kwabena Edupoku, and then Ankwanda.
Eric Akwanda.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Last question. Which question should I ask?
I'd actually prefer if you ask me all of them. I like trivia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you want me to ask you all of the trivia questions I
I don't
have?
mind. It'll be interesting.
Okay.
Test my chess knowledge.
My questions will better you.
You come to ask me about.
Who was the highest ranked Ghanaian at the fifth Tema Classics? Fifth Tema Classics. Highest ranked Ghanaian at the fifth
The
Tema
Ghanaian that
Classics.
placed the highest.
Yes.
Fifth one. That was the one before. The one.
I also want to know what place he. What? Okay, no, that's too difficult. That's the name of the person.
Oh, so the fifth one was the one before Isaac Okeke. I don't think I was on the chess scene yet, but wait, let me try and remember my.
Oh, you went on the. Oh, then I'll
No,
this
no,
one
no,
there.
no. The fifth Tema Classics.
Mm.
Highest Ghanaian.
You know him very well.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah, you know him very well.
Tema Classics. Wow. What's it, Mano?
No, I know this was a joke, so I'll not account it.
Okay.
What am I the bottom?
I'm not sure, but I'll just take a guess. I'll go for CM Susu.
No, Joseph Jamina Mensah.
Oh, Jamina.
He had 5.5 points, finishing in second place behind Apimeyi Austin.
Jamina is.
And ahead of the combined harvester, Anthony Ajavon.
Combined harvester.
Yes.
Okay, so
You want to
my
Those are the three. Those are the
Oh,
three.
from you, then I'll get more.
He wants to ask this question. Claim he wants to prove Edupoku wrong. For the last
two
efforts, he hasn't proved Edupoku wrong.
Okay, so
Why? What did Edupoku say?
don't worry, you find
He
out.
says it is not an easy question.
Oh, okay.
But he didn't
Edupoku
say
wasn't
this.
able to answer it.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Edupoku was able to answer it.
Mr. Philip was
Philip wasn't able to answer it. Unfortunately, he wasn't around for Ambrose to ask that question.
Okay. So I'm listening.
Okay, so you know, remember the famous game 6 between Bobby Fischer and Spassky? Hey, the look he's giving me. Okay, so in the famous game 6 between Bobby Fischer and Spassky, what opening did they transpose into? Not the opening he started with.
Oh, come on. This is an insane question.
Okay, but I know what he started with.
I don't remember. No, bro. Your brother is going bonkers.
This is an easy question.
This was like the first thing I learned when I started chess.
No. I'm sure it's a memorable thing for him because maybe it's a piece of chess trivia he picked up and it has stuck with him.
Okay. So he thinks everybody knows
the chessboard should know. It doesn't work like that.
Fine. It was the Queen's Gambit decline. Second question. This person said this. Which chess player said this? I love the moment when I break a man's ego.
Oh, Bobby.
Okay. Second. Who played the?
That's more trivia. Who played? Game 6 transposition.
Who played the sacrifice in the famous gold coins game?
Once the word sacrifice is there, I'll go with Tao. I don't think it was Tao. No.
It was is it Max? I can't say Maxwell.
Max Ew.
No, not Max Ew. It's Max. I can't remember how to pronounce this.
There aren't that many Maxes in chess.
No. Their opening is named after him. He has a variation named after him, and it's like Max. It's not Max Lunch. It's. I'm not looking for.
Okay.
I forgot his name. Right now, I knew his name before I asked you the question.
Is it Marshall?
Marshall.
Yeah,
Marshall. Yeah. Frank
Marshall.
Frank, that was saying Max. I was
Frank Marshall. Because Max, the only Max I know is Max.
Okay, one more question. I asked this question to. No, you actually made this quote. So
I made the quote.
No, you. I think you made the quote on the BCA page. So I don't want to ask that one. But which? What? I can't remember the question very well. Give me a second.
Sure.
Which female chess player was the first to defeat? Okay, not was the first, but which female chess player had the most?
Anytime it's female chess player first, I'll go with Judith.
I'm going to ask, was the first to defeat what do you call it, Kasparov?
Yeah, Judith.
I don't know if she was the first. That's why I had to change it.
The thing with Judith is anything. She's like the pioneer. Like that lady. She's any chess player, any male chess player that played Judith at top level had a headache or was sick. No, because those were the excuses they were giving. After she beat them, it's either they had a headache, they were sick, or something.
No, but for Kasparov, I'll take his excuse because he, I think he made a bet with her. Then he lost game 1, but from game 1 he never lost again.
Oh, okay.
So he made a bet.
Psychological.
Something like she could never beat him. Then game 1 when he lost, and he became national news. So nobody remembers that the other games he beat him. Game 1 he lost.
I want to ask one bonus trivia question. Sure. Magnus Carlsen lost 2 games in his which competition was it? Tata Steel Chess game. When was the last time he lost 2 chess games in a row?
Classical.
Oh, Norway Chess 2015.
Pardon?
Norway Chess 2015.
Correct.
It's correct.
It's 2015. I think it was 12 years ago.
No. 2015.
Oh wow.
Norway Chess.
He lost 2 games in a row to Caruana and then some Russian guy was but the recent one was against Nordibek and then
Abdusattarov. That guy.
And then what's his name? Anish Gil.
Yeah. The French defense lovers.
Anish is like
French defense. The most drawing opening known to man.
I thought you said landing was drawing.
No, at top level, literally every game is draws.
If you want to draw, it's French. All you do is play exchange French and then accept a draw.
No, but the thing with French is, see, as black, you shouldn't want to overextend.
Of course.
So black getting a half point. There's nothing bad with getting a half point. You don't have to win every game.
There's this video. I don't know if it was on the BCA page. You know, grandmasters are not allowed to draw within the first 20, 25 moves, because
They know theory, they can, yeah.
So when grandmasters want to draw, it's like, I don't know, it's like they mentally agree before the game starts. There's this video of Hikaru and I think Rapport. They just play 20 moves and they weren't even writing the moves. They were just playing the moves and then they got to the position and they just did the Berlin draw and then they got tap and left. Yeah. that's how grandmasters do. They just play the Berlin.
There are certain positions or certain openings that every grandmaster knows, like 30 moves.
Yeah.
So if I want to tell you, I want us to draw this game,
I just play that.
I play that, and if you want to agree to the draw, you follow that line. Mm-hmm. If you do not follow that line, you play something else. And then most of the time in those positions, if you break out of the position, you get a bad position. Mm-hmm. So it's like I'm forcing your hand. Also, so we just collaborate.
Let's just take the draw. It's just
high level play.
They just start with the Berlin and then they'll continue. But the best draw till now, the best draw ever made is Magnus Carlsen versus Hikaru Nakamura. The
one after. Oh, the Bond Cloud. But that was online. But no, Hikaru actually did a draw. That one happened, I don't know, after 6 moves. I don't know. That one is
the Berlin.
No. So the Berlin happens in classical, but I think this one was a blitz game. They just played 6 moves. He was with Anish. Right? They played a certain opening, and then I don't know what happened. They just agreed to a draw. It was a very funny game like that.
Well, they know it's a drawing 40 moves.
Yeah. It's one of those positions.
All right. So, guys, that is how we bring the conversation to an end. Thank you, Maxwell,
thanks,
your time.
For having me.
And thank you, Manuel, for being the butt of the joke. It's good. It's good. You can't get me.
The thing is, I can tell Manuel was like really.
I was.
As compared to like when you watch his streams from 2 years ago, and like him playing now, you can tell he has improved like a whole lot. I won't be surprised if he trashes me.
You don't need to make him feel.
Or if he's up for it, we could have a few games tonight.
A match.
When next are you streaming?
When next am I streaming?
We can fix a match.
Saturday.
Okay. Oh, Saturday I'll be at work.
No, Saturday evening. No
I'll be at work till 10 p.m. But you don't worry. That's what I mean by recently. We can fix a match and just play some fun games.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. And we are bringing you next. Who are we bringing next?
Christina.
Yes, the vice president of the Ghana Chess Association, Christina Ashley. Okay. She's here coming over to talk female chess,
women in sports.
Yes, and we'll also be talking about the Swag Awards as well. So make sure to stay tuned for that. This has been PMChess Talking Chess. I have been Penn,
and I've been Mason.
He got it finally.
Oh, I used to not get that part.